What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd.
Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chad, I hope you had a good week. And with that... I was like, what the fuck?
I was just making a joke
that,
like, nope, not a good week. It was.
And with that, let's do some housekeeping. But first, cheers. And everybody, you won't hear this until Wednesday, but it is Chad's birthday today, November 3rd. So happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
We love you.
Also, as a joke, I did have a good week. Now, for that housekeeping that you mentioned, if you are a fan of the show and would like to support us even further, you can always become a premium subscriber over at our Buy Me a Coffee, which is buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. You get some behind the scenes, some bonus content, member exclusive merch. But the big thing that we've been doing is our pre-show warm-ups, where we have some drinks, get into the mood to record, and just have various conversations. This week was different from what we normally do. We talked about the theory of the Antichrist and the hermeneutics behind the religious texts. It was fun, though.
It was fun. It's been a big step away from all of last month. We did like monsters for spooky season,
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, let's jump back into something different. And so it was our first conversation about
really religion, just in general.
Yeah. It gets weird. It was a fun one. They're always fun. I don't think we've had one yet that I've been like, oh, God, we dropped the ball. That was so boring.
I think we had one that never got posted because I accidentally deleted it, where you're like, we're done, let's stop.
Was it the moon landing?
Oh, no, that one did get posted.
Oh, good. I love that one.
Heated towards me about it, but
good.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Again, that's buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. Shout out to our newest premium member, who's at a higher tier, so they get the shout outs. Dave Morris. Thank you.
All right, well, we're just going to keep beating this into everyone's head. This week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 8th, 9th, and 10th, Chad and I and the All Things Nerd podcast will be at Twin Cities Con in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Please, please, please come see us. If you don't want to see us, come say hi anyway.
Well,
but
don't come just for us. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There will be actual famous people there. Look up Twin Cities Con. You can see who's going to be there on what day. If you're there, please come say hi to us. We'll have a drink. We'll have some trivia. We'll do some giveaways. We'll have merch for you to buy. I'm wearing some of it right now. This is one of our hoodies. We got some hats. Show the other one. There you go. We got shot glasses. It's kind of hard to see with the... I picked a pink shot glass like a dumbass. It's kind of hard to see. And then we got some coffee mugs. and we'll have some lanyards and bracelets and backpacks and
Stickers
stickers. I mean, it's gonna be well, we're gonna have a lot of shit. So please come pay
and
us a visit.
a sponsor exclusive label
Oh yeah, Dum Dum.
from Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce.
Yeah, we'll talk about Crybaby Craig's later, but yeah, you can see there are the nerds right there, and there's Crybaby Craig's right there. So, that's a limited time thing. We probably won't have another one until our next con, but
Yeah,
how's that? Um,
it'll be great. Yeah, come visit us.
anyways, please come visit. Yeah, come visit us. Play some games, buy some stuff. We'll have a shop for you, with you.
Huzzah.
How's that? Oh shit, it's me again.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah it is. I guess you're just you have the first
We us
half.
we usually like trade off.
I
I was
know.
like waiting. I was like waiting for you to talk, and I was like looking at it like, "Come on, Chad. Did
My
I miss
bad.
something?"
I just didn't
I
update
did.
it. My bad.
Our first topic, we're going to talk about Agatha All Along. This is the season finale, which they did back to back. So episode 8 and 9. Before we get into it, there spoiler alert, obviously. Um, and yeah, let's just dive right in. Now
First
you
things
talk.
first. I loved this show. Yeah, my turn. Uh, the show was so fun. It was so enjoyable. Catherine Hahn just great
Aubrey
in this
Plaza
role.
just mwah.
Yeah, but that one was on her hiney. Um, sorry. um, so it turns out that it wasn't really Agatha all along. The Witch's Road was never real. It was never a thing. And this is both episodes together, so we're kind of jumping back and
Yeah,
forth between them.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
the Witch's Road wasn't real. It was Agatha Harkness running just the ultimate pyramid scheme. If you're a witch who gets four witches who know four witches, she gets strong. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what it was. The entire song came from just her walking town to town with her son, Nicholas Scratch.
Hmm.
And you get to see like the evolution of the song. He's trying to sing to be a kid, really.
Yeah.
And they keep changing the lyrics here and there until it becomes like this official
Hmm.
thing.
Because it's originally like down the road we go.
Yeah.
And then she uses it as a chant for her coven
Yeah.
before she kills them and steals their power.
Down, down, down the road, down the
Uh,
witch's road. You know.
but another part of it, which was kind of cool, because they show where Aubrey Plaza, sorry, Lady Death, and Agatha know each other from. They're former lovers, blah, 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 blah. But when Agatha gives birth to her son, he's supposed to die, and Death shows up to collect him. And Agatha begs and pleads, and uh, basically Death is like, eventually I'm coming for him, whether you like it or not. And so part of why Agatha is killing all of these covens of witches is to keep Death busy so that she has more time with her son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sony, take note. Sorry. That's how you do an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Don't just take a villain and make them likable and give them a hero story.
Hmm.
Remind us that they suck, but that there's a motive there.
Yeah.
Because they think that
Exactly.
they're doing what's right for them. You say this all
Yeah,
the time.
exactly. I was gonna say they don't think that they're doing what's right. They're just writing the things for themselves.
Yeah.
It's
They,
selfish. When that's, wouldn't we all do the same? I would I would
Mm,
stab a lot of people for my son.
yeah, myself included. I'm
Oh
sure
yeah,
you've told
yeah,
me.
yeah,
I've made jokes about just tripping him, and you're like, I will kill you.
yeah, yeah. Flying punch to the face.
Yeah,
I would break my hand. I would hit you so hard if you did that to my son.
and that's just a trip, let alone murder. Murder. Uh, yeah, and yeah, like you said, it's she's just keeping death busy, and we even got a glimpse of that in an earlier episode, where Rio, before the reveal of her being death, is talking to Agatha, and she's like, "You get to get your power back, and I get to collect the bodies." You know, that was always the agreement, both for keeping her son alive, but also herself.
Mm.
I'm thinking because she's had an unnaturally long
Well,
life.
yeah, the unaged, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
So the witch's road that we see
I haven't read any of this.
was actually Billy all along,
Hmm. Okay, I know where we are.
which kind of ties into what we talked about last week. Of it's like his own version of the hex.
Yeah, of Westview, basically.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
why Agatha seems confused when the door appears as
But
they're
the
going
interesting part
through it.
is that he didn't know that he was doing it.
Yeah, he's so much like his mother.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was really cool. And when he figures it out, you know, he leaves the hex. We also get to see Wiccan, uh, full costume.
Suited up.
And what's really cool is I saw online, like behind the scenes from the costume designer, being on the outside of the cape, the one that actually drapes over his shoulder. They mimicked the patterns that Elizabeth Olsen wears as the Scarlet Witch, and on the inside there's details to mimic Vision's like
Oh,
color scheme and patterns and stuff like that. So
I
they
was gonna say
built in.
if you look at a side by side picture of Wiccan and Doctor Strange, it's the same.
Go
So
on.
he's got the suit, but like so Doctor Strange's cape or cloak or whatever is here and then comes down over the chest, and
Mm-hmm.
so is Wiccan's the same way. And it's
Interesting.
red and blue, just like Doctor Strange, like a dark blue.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That's really cool too.
Hmm. I saw that online. That's not my own um thing that I noticed. You know, I saw it and I was like, you are. I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. You know,
Yeah.
so I can't take credit for that, but yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, and also like his uh headpiece crown, like
Crown, yeah.
it's not as bland as like the comic headband that Wiccan wears, but
Hmm.
it kind of pulls from. It's like a nice mix between what we've seen in the MCU with Scarlet Witch and the comic of Wiccan. It was just, I don't know, just the attention to detail in so many
Yep.
MCU projects are just incredible. But
You go, because I don't
uh,
know what you're
uh,
talking about here.
well, I'm gonna continue on about the
Oh,
Billy thing before we get to that. Just, you know, they escape the road,
hmm.
and when he gets back home, and his parents are like, "Oh my God, you've been gone for 24 hours," and he's like, "That's it." And he goes up to his room, and as he's like walking
Oh yeah.
around, he sees the different things, the Lorna whatever, Alice's mom's uh, band was, the vinyl record. He sees the
The
Wizard of Oz stuff that,
figurine, yeah.
and he realizes that it was him,
Hmm.
which is really cool. But before they leave the road to back up a little bit, we find out that Agatha was the one that bound Jen, and is why she doesn't have powers.
Hmm.
And that was,
Or remember how she lost them.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was it was interesting because Agatha tries to play it off like I didn't know, like I did a lot of shit back then. It was the
Exactly, because she's a
1920s.
bad guy.
Yeah,
Yes, she's a villain. Sorry, not bad guy. She's a villain. And yeah.
she's the
But cool
bad guy.
cool
Duh.
is that Jen is the only one who survives.
Yeah,
They show her just kind of yeet herself.
yeah. She literally disappears the second she gets her powers back because
Yeah.
Billy's like, unbind her, give her her power back.
She kind of pulled a vision and was like, bye. And we don't know what happened.
Meow.
Yeah. Very cool. At the end of the first part of this finale, when Billy realizes what's going on, he hears Agatha laughing, and it's credits. And you're like,
Mhm.
oh, and then you're like, wait a second, we can watch the next episode now. And then it was a super lame, not lame. I thought that the part one, episode eight, we'll call it that. Episode eight was so much better than the actual finale. Episode nine was so slow. I
They could have
expressed this to you. Yeah.
mashed them and pulled certain things out and had most of episode 9 as 8
Like
and most of
what
episode 8
what
as
you were
9.
talking about a little bit ago, where they show her like gathering covens and killing them or whatever, and like walking with her son and the song development of that and blah 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 blah. That was like 90% of episode 9. It was
Yeah.
super uneventful, and they could have told that part of that story in about like 10 minutes, and they took most of the episode to do it,
Yeah.
which was a bummer. Because the episode before it was fucking fire, dude.
Yeah.
Like they were fighting with death. We get like we already said
Yeah.
the Wiccan's costume reveal. Like that episode was dope.
And
We get
Agatha sacrifices herself.
well, yeah, and it's a big deal because it's the first lesbian scene in Marvel history. Well, for on screen anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not non-implied but
yeah,
shown.
yeah. So, um,
I think this
very
show did the first uh male male kiss and female female kiss, right?
yes. I don't know.
Hmm.
I feel like there's
I'd,
got to
I'd
be.
have to take some time to like
Yeah.
go through the
We'll get
entire catalog
we'll get
again.
back to you in a few years when my kid is old enough to watch these movies with me and I can start them from the beginning.
Or we'll get back to you next summer when I go back through all of them because I am childless and a cat
but
lady. Suck it,
but
JD
yeah,
Vance.
it's pretty cool. I mean, it was super hot. Uh,
Oh my god, yeah.
Catherine
Boing,
Hahn, Aubrey Plaza.
boing.
Um. Anyways, I mean, she got touched by death, and so she dies.
Yeah. But there is a theory. This is not my theory. I wish it was. I wish I was faster and smarter with this. That Catherine Hahn basically did that as a calculated risk to play the long game. Because she knows that Billy has the ability to find the lost souls and put them in a new body, which is why she tells Billy.
Your camera.
Oh, thank you. Um, let's go find Tommy at the
Hmm.
very end of episode 9, the finale. But there's this theory that she's also going to use Billy to find Nicholas's soul
Hmm.
and put her soul back into a body.
Yeah.
So it was like a calculated risk because Death was so interested in Billy because he shouldn't exist the way that he
Hmm.
does, that Agatha sacrificed herself as a ploy to satisfy that debt, but she's got a plan for the long term, which makes sense because she's, again, not the good guy.
Yeah. There's
Um,
also a really small kind of throwaway line. I don't know if you caught it or not. I didn't either. I also read it, so I can't take credit for it either. Um, but when the episode starts, Billy says, "Why won't you die?" And Agatha says, "I can't face him alone." So she could either be talking about her son, right?
mm-hmm.
Or Mephisto, who's been mentioned. And
Official first mention in this show.
yeah, so that was interesting. Like she doesn't want to go to the afterlife because
She knows that she'll be
Mephisto, yeah,
cast to hell for
yeah.
everything that she's done.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's so good.
Now, now I'm intrigued. Do you think that it'll be in Agatha All Along season 2, or will it be renamed for something for
I
this
think,
journey?
I think. Sorry, I'm chewing ice. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked questions knowing that you
Yeah.
like to munch on ice.
Um, I don't think, and I don't mean this in a mean way because I really, really, really liked this show. I liked it more than I liked a lot of the Marvel shows that have come out in the past like year or two. Um, so I don't mean this in a mean way, but I don't think I want a season two of this show. I think if they're gonna make now with so let me back up a little bit. We know going forward after Secret Wars and shit like that, that we are going to start going into the supernatural side of Marvel, Blade, Ghost Rider, um,
Midnight Suns
the
and the
Midnight
Mutants.
Suns, shit like that. Um, I think if you're going to do any more Agatha and Scarlet Witch and Wiccan and shit like that, I think we do it on a bigger scale and go movies. I love the show. I love the shows that they're doing, and I love that they're doing these shows to give us a little bit of like a snack in between these big movies and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. But I think that going into the supernatural aspect of things, we make this bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I don't think I want a season two of a TV show for this. I think I want Agatha to be a bigger part of the cinema aspect of things. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Do you agree, disagree?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Uh, I agree that I would like to see Agatha be a bigger part of the cinema aspect, especially if we are potentially getting a Scarlet Witch film.
Hmm.
But maybe like another short run series as to where how they find Tommy, what happens next, but I don't know how they would do it.
You could
Because
just
it's
do
either
that.
like a season 2, but then it's not really Agatha all along. It's like
Yeah.
Agatha and Billy buddy cop team up.
Yeah.
Um,
I think you do that in a I think you do that as a movie. I think you do that with the Scarlet Witch movie.
yeah, like
You
they
make
find
Agatha
her
and
and
you make Agatha and Billy like a bigger part, right? And
mm-hmm,
then you have them trying to find Tommy, and then you throw Scarlet Witch in there, obviously. Because I know in one of the episodes coming up of the not what if the Avengers zombies or whatever,
mm-hmm.
Marvel zombies, there's an episode dedicated to Agatha and Scarlet Witch. Um,
Oh,
yeah. The fear, or at least what I read, is that the Scarlet Witch is the one like mind controlling all the zombies. She's like doing what Doctor Strange did to his zombie self in Multiverse of
and we
Madness.
kind of got a glimpse of that in the last season of What If.
Hmm.
So that would make sense.
Yeah. So, so I think you basically, I think you and I want the same thing. You
Yeah.
just want a series. I want it to be that what that movie is about.
Yeah. I feel like that storyline would just be better told, split up over multiple episodes.
Let me ask you this. If you're gonna make a Scarlet Witch movie, what would you make it about? Given her story and how her story ended recently,
That's a very good point. Because I
like what
don't.
would you make it about? Well, going forward, what would a solo movie even be about?
Yeah, that's. You got me there.
Yeah,
Because I don't.
you got me in a box here.
Yeah, you really good reference, but you really do because
Yeah.
you can't do House of M because that's basically what WandaVision was, just on a smaller scale. But you can't do a full House of M movie after WandaVision because it's just more of the
And
same.
even if you do a TV show before you do the movie, right?
Hmm.
You reunite Wanda with her kids now in different bodies or however the fuck they're gonna do that, right?
Hmm.
Then what would that movie be about?
Um.
Without knowing
Oh
what,
God! Now I can't think of the mutant island.
which they haven't,
Uh,
Genosha,
Thank you, Genosha or Krakoa.
but they haven't introduced any of that yet, so we can't really get into that yet.
Yeah, that's.
So
I stand corrected. As
movie.
we talked it out, you drove a much better point,
Thank you.
asshole.
Oh shit. I think that's it really.
Yeah.
I don't have a clever. I didn't realize that we were here already, so I didn't really have a clever segue. But we're gonna talk about our title sponsor, which is Crybaby Craig's Hot Sauce. You can get our limited edition bottle at Twin Cities Con. Um, but it's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, and we'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today.
All right, nerds, it is time for Trivial Nerd Suit. This week's question is for Chad and provided by me. I'm Jake. If you would like to submit a question to try to stump one of us, please reach out to us on our website over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com and use our contact form. Just mention who the question is for. This goes to a third party, so neither of us can cheat. Chad, are you ready?
I am.
Alrighty, I'm sending it now. Which mischievous character from the books in Harry Potter? Sorry, I didn't put that in the question. My bad. In Harry Potter, which mischievous character from the books did not feature in the movies?
Peeves, the poltergeist.
You got it. Yep, that's it.
Sorry. The
No,
second the second you said Harry Potter, I was like, okay. Yep.
yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I
But
hope
like
that
I
he
said,
shows up in the HBO series though.
don't be sorry. I actually like when you get the questions because it shows how big of nerds we actually are. I do take a little bit of pride when I can stump you, but I feel bad for our listeners at the same time because like I feel like sometimes if our listeners are listening to that part of it and they guess it, they're like, these guys have a fucking podcast and they don't even know this answer. You know what I mean? Like,
Like
so
they become the gatekeepers.
yeah.
These guys
So
aren't real nerds,
yeah, exactly.
but we are. I play D&D 2 out of 4 weeks a
Did
month.
you want to hear the hint just for fun?
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously Peeves the poltergeist. Uh, this person was particularly a pain to Argus Filch.
Yeah, because he would fuck shit up.
He is the groundskeeper.
Yeah.
Like it's funny.
Love it.
Damn. Okay, well, you did it. I did it. Uh,
We did it. I did it. Well, let's talk about some nerd news. The biggest being that if you're listening to this on release day, in 2 days, we'll be at Twin Cities Con. If not on release day, but close. It is this weekend. November 8th, 9th, and 10th, we will be at booth 207. Come hang out. Come say hi. If you don't want to go to Twin Cities Con just to see us, that's totally fine. We get it. We're fans first. We like to just go and hang out. Stop by and say hi. We'll have something for you, whether it be a shot, a chance to win something, some merch for you to pick up, all kinds of stuff. Or just stop by and take a picture. Say hi. We'll hang out. Let's get into some nerd news, though. We got a new trailer for Star Wars The Skeleton Crew, which comes out in December. Should have looked up the date. Forgot to. It's before Christmas, so it's the first half of the month at least. The show looks cool.
this this is giving me like Goonies, Stranger Things vibe, but Star Wars.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy.
Same. The first like teaser trailer that came out, several months ago, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. And then after this, I'm
Oh,
like, oh, I'm here for it. You were
I
on
was here
board
for
right
it on the
away.
first one, yeah. I got that Goonies vibe, right? I grew up on Goonies and shit like that was my fucking jam when I was a kid. Um, so yeah, right away I was like, yep, yep, this looks good. Because I, unfortunately, have been kind of let down by Star Wars TV shows lately. This is the first one that I'm like actually excited about. You told me that about Acolyte, and I was like, yeah, but I'll check it out. And I was super let down by it, and I was bored.
I
Yeah,
liked the lore that they brought into it. I liked that they brought in stuff from like the Legends books. The more the show went on, I was like, I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, how stoked I was kind of diminished.
yeah. This one's got a good fun, like a fun vibe, not like a serious vibe,
Yeah,
right? It doesn't have that like Obi-Wan or that like dark tone to it. It's probably going to be kind of funny.
it's
It's
back to being for the kids of this
exactly yeah.
generation,
Yeah,
like the
I'm into
prequels
this.
were, like
'Cause
the
I'm
original series was. But back
exactly.
then, they had to be a little bit more serious because there's the red threat.
And again, like I said earlier in our pre-show warm-up or whatever, like I'm an adult, but I'm barely an adult. I'm almost 40. Like this show appeals to me big time. I really, really am excited for this.
Yeah, it looks good. And
Uh,
Jude Law, come on.
love Jude Law. Always love Jude Law. Um, we have some of our first footage. It's kind of like a teaser trailer for Daredevil Born Again.
Mhm.
We're supposed to get an actual trailer pretty soon. I don't know the date on that. We'll keep you updated. But I think it's like in the next like it's in November and we're in November. So I
Yeah.
think I bet you it fucking drops tomorrow after we do this
It
fucking segment.
it
It'll piss me
always
off.
it
And
always
it will piss
happens.
me off.
And
Yeah.
then we're always like, do we just start recording on Mondays? And
Well, I
then we're
think if
like, no,
that
because then we have to go to work hungover.
when and if that happens, just check out our TikTok. We'll do some reviews there. Um,
Yeah.
if stuff comes out after we've already recorded. So
We'll
check
have
out our TikTok as well.
a Jake's
Uh,
take.
yeah. But yeah, so we got our first footage, actual footage slash kind of teaser trailer for this. Um, it looks fucking ridiculously good.
Hmm.
We love Matt Murdock. We love Charlie Cox. Um, I don't know. You
John
talk.
John Barenthal back in
Oh
it.
yeah, fucking cameos, dummy. Yeah.
Yeah. Wilson Fisk. It seems like I don't know if the show is going to start with the election results of Wilson Fisk running for mayor because the previous teasers have been about him running
hmm
for mayor. So we will see.
And it looks like from the trailer that unfortunately for both our antagonists and protagonists that they have to kind of team up because there
Hmm.
is a couple bad guys in this show. Uh, and it looks bad for Kingpin if these bad guys are running around the streets. And it looks like he's maybe trying to recruit Matt Murdock to
Yeah.
help him find these guys and take them out. It looks really interesting. We know it's going to be darker and bloodier and more fun. It's also supposed to be like 18 episodes,
Yeah, which
right?
is even longer than what the Netflix series were, because those are
Yeah,
all 13.
yeah. I am all about this. We're supposed to get a mention of Spider-Man from Kingpin as
Hmm.
he's running for mayor, and he like says something about like masked vigilantes, and we need to put a stop to it. And he mentions like Spider-Man and
Daredevil and the Punisher.
Punisher. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking sick. Let's fucking go. Let this
Yeah.
be the year. Let 2025 be the year that we do good Marvel because
Yeah. Oh, I
it,
should look this up. Keep talking.
it's been a little bit of a letdown the past like it's not letdown, it's been a hit or miss kind of a year. We get some good stuff, we get some bad stuff. I won't say which is which because I don't want to be too big of a butthole. But if you listen to our podcast, we definitely showed how big of a butthole I am. So uh about those things. So I'm fucking stoked about this. I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
This also comes out
Uh,
soonish.
March.
March, yeah.
March 4th. Um, end of
Is that what
December.
you were looking up?
Not just that, but um, we're supposed to get in December of this year. What if season 3?
hmm
January. I don't remember what it was. Uh, I think January is Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which we're also going to talk about here in a second. February is Captain America: Brave New World. March is Daredevil. Is April Fantastic Four? No, April. I don't know what's in April. Fantastic Four is in July. Like we have each month from Marvel. The website that I pulled up was no fucking help. Um, but basically, from late December through July, every single month, we have something from Marvel coming out, which
Yeah.
is fucking.
Yeah. Speaking of
April might be Thunderbolts, or else that's May.
speaking of friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, we also got teaser footage from that,
Yeah.
and it isn't quite the Spider Verse type animation, but it's very comic book animation, which looks sweet.
Yeah. And the dope part about this is that this is showing us what happened with Peter before the events of Civil War.
Yeah.
So we get to see his original suit before he got the Stark suit, um,
Hmm.
doing Spider-Man stuff. It would be dope if they show us that bus catch that fucking Stark like called him out on,
Oh, that'd be
so we
sweet.
could see it. But yeah, so this is a prequel, and it's going to show us what happened between him getting bit and the events of Civil War. And fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah,
But it's a cartoon.
and they rebranded it.
Is it Tom Holland
I don't
voicing? I
think so.
no. Oh, that's kind of lame. That would have been way cooler.
I'll look it up while we're talking about this. Um, I had something else that I was going to say, and I completely forgot while I started.
About Spider-Man?
Oh, it was originally titled Spider-Man Sophomore Year,
Oh, I
um, or
I like that
freshman
better.
year, but
Oh, okay. Um,
Spider-Man.
you have results yet, or should I move on?
I'm pulling it up, and let's see. Oh, this is the one in January.
Ah,
Um. Ooh. Oh shit.
is it Tom Holland?
No, but
Ah,
Daredevil is supposed to pop up in it.
oh,
No, it's Hudson Thames, Thames.
isn't that the kid playing fucking Hiccup in the live action?
No,
No, Hudson Thames.
at least it
Who's that?
doesn't show up as upcoming. He's who voiced Peter Parker in the What If series.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um,
Oh, he's a handsome fellow.
yeah, good looking dude.
Sorry, sorry. He just like came up like right up, and I was like, wow, he's a good looking guy.
Yeah,
I don't.
most of the other stuff that he's been in, I haven't
Oh, he's a
seen.
singer too.
Oh, that could be why his name sounds more familiar.
What would we know? Oh no, never mind. It's a TV show where he plays a singer. I lied.
Oh, cool.
No, it says song available here. Hudson Thames' Last Call. Let's play it. Oh, it's gonna.
It's just gonna play in your headphones, but I'll clip it and put some of it in here. You just gotta text me what it's called. Um, is it good?
I don't know.
It's still on an ad.
It's like an intro.
Oh,
I fucking hate intros.
yeah. Just start the song. It's gonna sound like shit. Don't do it.
Loud?
It sounds muffled as shit.
It's not bad. Sorry. Could you hear it?
It sounded muffled and terrible.
Lame.
Uh, yeah. Just send it to me, and I'll layer it in post.
It's
Pop.
younger generation pop. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. He's got a good voice. We'll put it that way.
Fair.
Um. Anyways, yeah. So, oh, my volume is way down. So sorry.
Do you want to skip this next one and keep talking about Marvel stuff, and then we can come back to the next one?
No, we can just fly by this. We don't. I don't
Okay.
really know anything about it other than we got a new scary movie coming out. And when I say scary movie, it's like, the Wayans brothers, like scary
Scary
movies.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a new one coming out, but it's been thrown back to the Wayans brothers, who did the first two, which were rated R and actually funny, and then everything after that was, did you say it was Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, it was Weinstein Productions, and
Yeah. And not just like fart jokes and shit like that. It like just
yeah,
wasn't the same.
they weren't. They were still crass jokes, but they weren't like clever
Yeah.
crass. Like it
Yeah.
was just like you said, fart jokes.
Yeah. But now the Wayans brothers are taking back over for I think the sixth one now. Um, and that
Yeah,
makes me happy because I think we've even said on this podcast that the that they were only funny when the Wayans brothers were running it, and then once
well,
they
yeah,
fucking passed it off or whatever, they were dumb. So yeah, we'll get another one. It'll probably be good, and it'll have like think of all the horror movies that have come out in the past since fucking 2010 or whatever the last scary
yeah,
movie came out, right? So that should be really fun. I'm excited about that, and I love
yeah.
the Wayans brothers. I'm still waiting for White Chicks too.
I don't know if that'll ever happen,
You
but
have to do it. You have to do it. It'd be so funny. But anyways, yeah,
then
back
we
to Marvel.
yeah we got a little bit of a clip. It was just an overall Disney Plus release schedule of shows. So a little bit of teasers of all these things. But for Marvel's Zombies
Mhm.
coming up, and we know that Iman Ilvani, did I say that right?
Mhm.
I'm sorry if I didn't. But you know, she plays Miss Marvel, is going to be a big part of that show. So it'll be. I'm stoked.
Yeah. Um, we also got Eyes of Wakanda. This is a TV show, correct?
Yep, and that comes out
Yeah.
later next year. I think like August or September.
Yeah. I'm curious, do we know who this centers around?
Uh, T'Chaka, I believe, or
Okay.
T'Chaka's father. It might be.
Oh, it's a prequel.
Yeah, it's a prequel. So
Oh, okay.
we know Chadwick Boseman was T'Challa. His father was T'Chaka. I I can't remember if it's going to be multi generational to cover a couple of Black Panthers, or if it's going to be about T'Chaka or his father. So it's uh, definitely a prequel, but by like a good shot.
I thought it was gonna be catching us up on um T'Challa's son because we know that he's supposed to be later on the new Black Panther.
It could
That's what I
be like
thought
multiple generations too. We
yeah.
don't know a whole lot about the show.
Okay.
I'm fine with either.
Well, I imagine we won't get Black Panther until after Secret Wars because then they could like make it age appropriate. Like, how did this little kid from
Yeah, because he's
Black
like
Panther 2,
7. You know.
yeah, become an adult or a teenager all of a sudden, you know? So I
Yeah.
imagine we won't get that movie until later on, but I thought this show was about him. So I misinformed myself by reading something stupid.
It could have parts of it. You know, we don't know. And um, we also have What If season 3 coming out next month, late next month. Oh my god, I keep doing that, and it
There you go.
awesome. It'll fuck up again later. Um, and then take this one because you told me about this.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. We talked about this when we went and saw it. You and I went and saw Godzilla minus one,
Hmm.
um, which was fucking fantastic, dude. We loved it, and both of us have become very good at watching movies with subtitles on. It used to bother the shit out of me,
Same.
and then I married a woman who is deaf, so. Uh, Um, so subtitles are not an issue for me at all. And then you kind of picked up on it through me and
Yeah.
have been watching shit with subtitles on as well. We went and saw this movie and it was so fucking good. And they got greenlit to do another one. I mean, They won awards for this movie. It was so good. The budget was so low, and they still made one of the best Godzilla movies that we've seen in a really long time. Even better than the Godzilla movies that have been coming out. And I only say that not in any disrespect because the director of the Godzilla movies that we've been watching w went on record and said that he was jealous of this movie because it was so good.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's the
it,
original studio that created Godzilla
yeah,
that made
yeah.
this, 50 years, 80 years ago, whatever it was.
And they've been greenlit for a part two. And the director's name is, and I hope I'm saying this right, Takashi Yamazaki. Uh, you killed it with the first one. I can't wait to see what you do with the next one. I know you're
Mhm.
listening to this. We appreciate you. Uh,
Hell yeah.
yeah, I'm fucking stoked. That's really good news, and I love that like foreign films are getting like the recognition that they deserve too. So,
Yeah,
fuck yeah,
especially internationally. Like,
yeah.
it's no longer like a niche. It's becoming less and less of a niche thing of like, oh, I like foreign films. Like, they're
Hmm.
getting major theatrical releases internationally,
Hmm.
which is incredible because they're great movies. Well, another non comical segue, but let's talk about our second sponsor, which is Ray's Energy Drinks. It's 0 calories, 0 sugar, zero crash, lots of flavors to choose from, and if you don't like energy drinks, that's totally fine. They have a lot to choose from outside of that realm. So listen up, learn how to save 15%, and we'll be right back with you to talk about the Penguin. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Ray's Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Ray's Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Ray's Energy delivers a performance enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Ray's Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. Okay, friends, now we're going to talk about the latest episode of The Penguin, now streaming on Max. Spoiler alert. That's enough time. This show is so good. It's gritty. It's a mafia mob show that just happens to be based in the Batman universe.
Yeah. I think what's cool about it is that we get the separation from, and I'm going off of a little script here, but going off of script here, off the hook. Is that so everything Batman we've had so far, other than I guess Christian Bale's Batman was pretty grounded, but uh this isn't a fantastical kind of thing. This isn't, there's no superpowers, there's no um monsters and shit like that. This is based off of the Matt Reeves Batman, the Batman with Robert Pattinson, where all the bad guys are, just people basically.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
grounded.
yeah, so this show goes off of that. We know like James Gunn's Batman and Superman and all that shit. It's gonna go back to fantastical. So it's kind of nice to have this, like you said, dark and gritty, but like street level, um,
Yeah.
Bat Batman-esque type stuff. And this show is so good at just being its own thing. Like you don't need, even though I wanted at least a mention of Batman somewhere in there, or like the bat signal or something like that. You don't need it. This is its own thing. It's a
Yeah.
very just a gangster show.
Yeah.
And it's so good on its own that you don't need Batman or Catwoman or Batman character like other outside characters to hold it up. It's holding itself up on its own. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. 100%. And pretty much right off the bat, I mean, we get Vic, is confronted by Squid, who used to be the drops runner in his neighborhood before the events of the Batman. And like he's trying to make his way in, and he sees Vic, with fresh clothes, suddenly having appearing to have like he has way more money than what he used to. I mean, he
Mhm.
does because he's getting paid by Oz, but he confronts Vic and kind of corners him. And Vic is like, "Yeah, okay, come here. Like, I'll show you." And then he turns around and shoots him, and shoots him in the throat. And Vic immediately is like, "Oh my god, I just killed someone." Like the worst that he had done before that is, I mean, he kind of like ran someone over,
Yeah, this is his second killing.
but it was like the first one was like heat of the moment, like he crashed a car into a dude and then drove away. But we also kind of don't know if that dude actually died or just needs an extra set of wheels to get around for the rest of his life.
What do they call you? Wheels? Sorry.
2001 throwback. What up? No, sorry, 2000. Um, but then Vic goes to Oz after this, and Oz like notices that he's upset and is like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" He's like, "I killed someone," and Oz like pulls him in for a hug as he starts to cry. He's like, almost like he's about to comfort him, and then he whispers in his ear. He goes, "It gets easier." Like, yeah, that may have been your first trigger pull, but it's not going to be your last.
Which is I thought it was cool because the way the last episode had ended, I thought that um I thought that Oz was gonna kill that dude in front of Vic. Like I thought it was gonna be like that dude because that Vic was like scared of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
A few episodes ago, he was like, I don't want to be around this guy. Like blah 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 blah. So I thought that dude was gonna like press him, and then fucking Oz was just gonna be like stab stab or shoot shoot or something
Mm-hmm.
like in front of Vic, and then Vic was gonna be like traumatized from it. But I like this much better. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's dope. Sorry.
Oh, no, 100%. I agree. Um, and it seems like they're kind of setting up him to be like Victor Zaz, which could be kind of like a. I mean, his last name in the show is Aguilera or
Mm.
Aguilera. Um,
Christina Aguilera.
they might be related,
Ah,
or she just took that name. Uh, but they're kind of setting him up to for that downward spiral into just embracing this like crime lifestyle.
hmm.
And it's interesting to watch him process it.
Yeah. Well, and Oz's mom is like starting to. I mean, you can really see like how bad is it dementia
Or
that she
Alzheimer's,
has or something? Yeah.
some sort of
Yeah. You,
degenerative.
you can kind of see how bad it's getting in this episode, which is sad, but at the same time, this is again what we said earlier when we were talking about Agatha. They're villains, and they don't shy away from the fact that they're villains. So even though it's like a tender thing and you kind of feel bad, you know that she's a piece of shit. Oz is a piece of shit. And so it's like, oh, this is like nice, but like they're killing people and like being bad, not like other movies and shows where they're
Yeah.
trying to make you like the character. You don't like Oz. I mean I like Oz because I love a good villain and he's doing a fantastic job,
Yeah.
but he's just an asshole. And that's what you
Yeah.
love about it. Right? You don't love that you don't make him likable and say like, "Oh, he's not actually a bad guy." You just
He's just misunderstood. It's like,
yeah,
no,
you don't do
he's
that.
fucking cruel.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm skipping ahead because
But
just so that segue, um, they a really cool symbolic thing that they did was, as he's caring for his mother and when she kind of like regains that clarity and wants to get dressed and put on makeup, but she's old, frail, she fell in the shower, she's is who she is. Oz is helping her like put on lipstick and makeup, and as he's doing that, you see his
here
hands.
comes the lipstick. Sorry.
Gross. Kick him in the balls. Um, but you see how dirty his fingernails are, and it's. I mean, obviously, it has in-world implications because he's growing these mushrooms, he's burying bodies, but just the fact that he's doing something so tender as a caretaker, but you see the dirt and grime under his fingernails while he's doing it. It's a really subtle piece of symbolism to show that this is his humanity, but his character is still gross and flawed and villainous. It was a really cool small thing that and the show does it so well.
I'll give you a really cool small thing. Um,
Title of your sex tape. Recording
I think
stopped.
it's
I'm just kidding.
I think it's cool. I mean, you kind of corrected me earlier when I talked about it, but I still think it's kind of cool to mention that in the episode prior, um, Oz is literally burying bodies in dirt.
Hmm.
And then as he's like applying his mom's makeup and stuff like that, he's got like dirty hands.
Yeah.
So I think that's worth mentioning, even if the time frame doesn't
Quite line up, but
make sense.
it's
Yeah.
still like that.
But if you think
It's like
about
a
it,
bittersweet, tender
they're
moment.
also in Vic's old apartment where there is no electricity or running water, so maybe he hasn't been able to wash up since burying
Yeah.
those bodies.
And shortly after that moment, because they're just using like a generator, so that I don't know why I did that. It was me pulling the generator
Sure.
cord. Uh,
Call him whatever you want, but
and but because of that, I mean, later in the episode, after that, because the generator doesn't produce enough power to have the lights and for his mom to listen to her records, Oz goes and gets the power turned back on in that neighborhood,
mm,
which kind of also gives him that street cred of, you know, uh, even all the way back to the first episode before he kills Sophia's brother. Of, this guy would do so much for the neighborhood, but you never wanted to cross him. Like, so
mhm,
he's doing these things so the neighborhood would recognize that he's done them to give him
mhm.
that respect and that street power. without diminishing the fact that he's still a shady ass character.
I was like a piece of shit.
Like he's doing good, but he's shit. Which is something that the show's been doing incredibly well the entire time, and also separating Oz from like the Falcones and the Maronis, where they're old money crime families, and he's the scum of the earth to them, but he's also like paying henchmen, paying low level people, getting the power turned back on in the slums and shit like that to garner that respect, which makes what happens a little bit later in the episode a little bit more like twisting of the knife. Because Eve, his favorite lady of the night, betrays him. I mean, rightfully so.
Who would have thought?
He betrayed her first, but yeah.
You just can't find a hooker with a heart of gold anymore.
Yeah. Goodness.
This isn't Pretty Woman.
Or
This is the Penguin.
or Vegas. Because they get paid
Yeah.
well and they get health insurance out there. Because it's legal. But yeah, Eve betrays Oz when Sophia comes and threatens her. And she's like, just don't hurt my girls. He's like, and Sophia's like, did you know that he knew that my father killed your girls? And Eve is like, this is how you find them. Okay, thanks. Bye.
I think at this point in the show, and I mean this very seriously to like take a step back from being funny, Sophia should wear the yellow dress in every episode.
Yes, that is very serious, and I agree.
Yep.
She is going to be a menace for everybody.
I mean, there's rumors that she's
already
gonna be have a big role in the Batman too.
I hope so.
I hope so too. And again, I have never really batted an eye at this actress. Not saying that I've ever been like, oh, she's ugly. She's very pretty. But I've never been like, oh my God, she's so hot until this show. And now I'm like, "Mm,
And,
buddy.
well, first off, yes, agreed. I think Kristen Milotti is gorgeous. But the things that I've seen her in are either a small role, like Wolf of Wall Street, or something.
Who is she in Wolf of Wall Street? Is she Jonah Hills?
No, she's Leo DiCaprio's first wife.
I gotta watch that movie again.
Or like Palm Springs, or
Palm Springs is one.
How I Met Your Mother. You know,
That's the
like
other one.
comical, quirky, like
Lighthearted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but as a dramatic actor, like she fucking dominates the screen in every scene that she's in for the show.
I think she's gonna win an award for this show.
I hope
really
so.
do. Yeah.
She deserves it.
Yeah. Sorry, I went
No,
off script.
No,
My
you're
bad.
totally fine. I mean, after leaving Eve's, she does go to the slums. I don't remember the name of the neighborhood. They mention it multiple times, so this is on me. But Sophia goes to the apartment building where Oz, Vic, and his mom are hiding out, and she opens the door to the apartment after the power's been turned back on, so music is playing in the apartment, and she walks in, and it's this really powerful scene to end the episode. So we're left on a cliffhanger, but you see Vic and Oz's mom dancing because she's having a moment of clarity. Oz's mom, and they're dancing to her records. And the shot is you see a gun in Sophia's hand, and the camera's showing between her arm and her body with the gun in her hand. And you see Vic and Oz's mom dancing, and then it cuts to black, and you're like, oh fuck. And it's a bummer that we're recording on a Sunday because the episode comes out tonight, and we don't get a chance to talk about it. But holy shit, this show has me wanting more.
How many episodes are left now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can look that up if you want to tell that story.
Oh, we're gonna close this episode out. But before we do, Chad's gonna tell us how many episodes are left.
And then we can do a but before we do again.
Yeah.
There's going to be a total of 8 episodes. So there's 2 left. So tonight is the penultimate, even though we're not having 10 episodes. But fuck, bud.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, before we close out this episode, but before we do,
Well, hang on. We got to do some shit first. So let's go ahead and close out this episode, and then you can bring that back in after we take a quick pause. Whoops.
well, we tried to close out this episode, but I made a mistake, and we're gonna close it out now. So before we close out this episode, we are gonna talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you got?
Well, it's that time of year, so it's
great, Chad.
It's my shut
no, I'm
the
just
fuck
kidding.
up. It's my annual rewatching of Lord of the Rings, and this year I decided, because it's been a long time, to do the extended versions, and
Ooh.
I forgot how much of a time investment that was, so I have not finished them, because they're like 4+ hours each. So I'm working through it. I'm still on the Two Towers. There's so much. As well as I started watching Arcane on, I think it's Netflix. It's based off of League of Legends, which I've never played. But the show's cool. Don't know much about it. Only watched a couple of episodes. It is what it is. And Superman and Lois. What about you?
Honestly, so I have kept up on Superman and Lois, but we have been busting our asses on making all of this merch for the con.
This is the only thing that I have to
Yeah.
grab right now.
So we haven't had a ton of time for TV. You you literally just sat down before we came back into this episode. You
I
literally
know.
just sat down with my wife and had a conversation about how to make these stickers better. So
And resent, yeah.
yeah, we have been over here at the Peters household. We have been busting our asses getting shit done for this con, and I don't mean that in a negative way. You've put up more money than I have.
Well, I'm the design studio also, but you guys are the muscle.
Yeah, like
Perfect.
we have
It's the way I want it to be.
we have been we have been busting our asses over here. All of the tools that we need to like make this stuff, we do make all of this stuff ourselves, um, is here. So my
Yeah.
wife and I have just been kicking the shit out of ourselves doing this. And we're in crunch time. It's next weekend. So speaking of next weekend, come check us out.
That's right. I put it in caps in parentheses. One more plug.
Come check us out at Twin Cities Con. It's at the Minneapolis Convention Center, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. You can find us at table 207. We'll be doing trivia, giveaways. There will be stuff for you to buy. You can have a drink with us. We will be more than happy to just shoot the shit with anybody that comes by. Please come say hi. If you don't want to see us, come see more famous people. Go check out twincitiescon.com. You can see who's going to be there on which day. But if you do come say hi. Stop by our booth. Again, that's table 207. We'll be there all 3 days.
Yeah. And not just Jake and myself, but the people behind the scenes, like your wife will be there one day. Some of the people from the Kobolds in the Basement will be there. Um, that's
The
our
big
other.
one.
That's our other podcast. Plus, our title sponsor will be there at least one day. Friends, our Marty from Digicat Tech will be there as well. So
Basically, our producer
yeah, he's one
at
of
this
our
point. Yeah.
executive producers on the show. Did our website, is helping us out with digital marketing, and if you need help with digital marketing, reach out to him over at digicattech.com. I mean, he's a wizard. Again, I already mentioned the Kobolds in the Basement podcast. It's a live play D&D-esque tabletop RPG podcast that I myself am currently hosting for our first campaign. Check it out. Come meet us at...
I've been on there once. Twice.
Technically twice, yeah.
Technically twice.
Yeah, technically twice. It was just one really long recording session, and you gave up halfway through. Uh, it became very story-orientated the second episode. I'm sorry.
You and Dave were like virtually making out, and I had to get out of
It
there.
was story-driven. I'm sorry. The timing didn't work out for you to shine. Your character is super badass, and I love it.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
Because we are Venom. We are Linux. Oh, sorry.
Fuck Venom.
Also, if you want to be a premium subscriber, go to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. You get behind the scenes, our pre-show warm-ups. It's awesome. But really, we just love you.
Everything is awesome.
Thank you for being a fan, and this has been the All Things Nerd Podcast.